Hey people, just trying to get situated here. What up, Overly? How's it going? Alright. Tribe, yeah. We're gonna talk about it a little bit tonight. How you guys like my wild, crazy, curly hair? I haven't seen it in a while, so it was a little weird for me this morning. What up, people? How we doing tonight? Thank you. So, what up, girl? Hey, Prince. Prince Gold. Right, no more. Alright, so I was just kind of waiting for a few people to get kind of logged on. What up? Hey girl. So glad to see you on here again. Okay, so I thought we could talk about a little bit more. I feel like the last few days here on Periscope, we've been really getting into, they're my paintings. Okay, so we've been really getting into like who we are, right? And who the characters are that like are involved with what the family is, right? Thank you. And so I thought that we would talk a little bit more and get like dive into like what the purpose behind like us sharing all of that is, you know? And when I started really thinking about like, what up? Hey people. Thanks for logging on. So we're talking about being a tribe and like what the family was standing for, right? And it's like just a community of us people that like believe that like we care about who you are and who I am. And hey girl, what up? Yeah. And it's like we literally care about like what you're going through and like what your purpose is. And thank you. What up? And like we want to like help you through that and help you succeed in what that is, right? So that's where the connection came in. It's like, wait, I'm like you, you're like me. Like I've always felt like I have a purpose to be that, right? So we are all the tribe, and every night we are a different face on here, and there's a big group of us that love that. And where is the tribe? Very, very good question for me tonight. It's everywhere. And that's what I really wanted to talk about is what the tribe is. Like, what is a tribe, right? So I kind of was like looking a bunch of stuff up. I was like writing things down, like, right, it's everywhere, right? So what a tribe actually means is it's this, I'm going to read it because I wanted to read it like exactly like I've kind of put together some things, right? So this is a state of being organized in or advocating for a tribe in terms of conformity. Tribalism is also referred to popular culture, right? So it's like talking about behaving the same, loyal to the tribe. You can be more loyal to your tribe than your family, your friends, other countries around you, social situations. You can actually be more loyal to that. But like, okay, great. That's like what a tribe is. It's like you create that, like this is, yeah, alike. Everything's alike and everybody kind of like moves in synergy together, right? And so it's like this like thing that works because everybody agrees in like what that value is, right? So that's like what a tribe is. And they don't really call it like a religion, they call it a way of being. It's like what Buddhism is it's a way of life, right? So it's not a religion, it's just saying like this is the way you move and evolve to get to this point and energetic value for yourself, right? Thank you. Yeah, so that's what a tribe is, right? So a tribe is a community that's that has the same language, beliefs, education, culture, right? So that's kind of like where we're all at, right? We're on the world, right? So then I was looking up, okay, so tribalism is what we just talked about, right? Yes, it totally is, right? So if tribalism is that and you have this community, right? Well, so then I was like, what's worldism? Is that a word? You know? Like, why is there a culture? Like we all live on this planet, right? So this is my question. I live in the United States. Let's do that. So it can be, yeah, can it be a world? Like, okay, that helps a map so we can fly from here to like there and understand what part we're on. But like, why does it have to deviate upon like what we are and how we work together to live here, right? Because this is our home on this globe, right? So what's worldism? So I looked that up, right? And it's actually in the Urban Dictionary. Like they didn't want to put it in like Mother Earth. Yeah. So like they didn't want to put it in like a dictionary. So I thought that was funny, but worldism, it was actually in there. And it says is a bit of truth derived from worldly ways or wisdom. The idea is that the world and its wisdom is truth. The attitude of caring or worrying about the world or earth, wanting to change it for a better through people, environment, and so on. Thanks for joining, you guys. So like that, a worldism is all about how to make the world better, and all of us working together to like love the earth. It's like bettering this planet that we live on, right? So it's like this whole thing about loving the earth. So worldism is that you're in like a tribe of, so then I was like, okay, a tribe of loving the earth. Like what if you're a worldism and a tribalism? I was like, how do we put that together? So let's call it a world tribalism. Yeah, I love you too. Right? So it's great. A tribe is a community that is said to have like languages, beliefs, education, so on, right? Social atmospheres, like gatherings, stuff like that. Great. Awesome. That's what it is. So if we put a worldism and a tribalism together, then we have a world tribalism, right? So if you want to know what the family is and like what you guys have logged on to right now, we are like the community, the glue of a world tribe. Right. World tribeism. Like, where you at? What you got? Like, this goes back to my puzzle analogy. And for those of you that don't know that I like to say this, we're going to say it right now because it's great. So what if we're in a puzzle, right? And the whole world is a puzzle, right? And we're all just amazing pieces of it, right? So it's one, right? It's one big whole puzzle, right? And without every little piece of it, it doesn't make up a whole, right? So each little piece is slightly different shape, slightly different color, slightly different attitude, so on and so forth, right? So it's like each piece is so important. We don't really know where they all go, right? But once they go in there, right? Yeah. Focus. Yes, totally. Focus on the soul and the spirit and the love for it, right? So it's like connecting all of that together. So it's like, what is your little piece, your little puzzle piece that goes into that, And so it's like, this is the world tribe to put that puzzle together. Like, we want to put it together, like, let everybody have a purpose so that everybody's great. Like, I'm great. But so are you. Like, you guys are all great. And that's what's so great about being in a world tribe, right? Yeah, we're all brothers and sisters. So why don't we love each other and help each other, right? But it's like a lot of times we're conditioned to be in this like fear-based reality to where it's like, I'm not good enough, or I'm sad, or I'm anxious, I'm stressed out, and like I'm reactive a lot, right? And so then we create these other negative atmospheres around us. We don't show love and compassion for each other. Yeah, thank you. And no, I mean, it happens all the time. We all get very stressed out and anxious in our lives. And, it's very easy when someone says like, oh, you're feeling this, that you're like, oh, maybe I do feel that. Well, a lot of times when someone is like projecting something towards you about what they think, it's not necessarily about you. It's about them, right? Yeah, it can be a little bit of bullying, but it's also just sometimes people are upset in their own worlds. 9 times out of 10, when you're focused on what somebody else is doing wrong, chances are there's something about that that's true for you and what you're going through right now. So a lot of times it's like a mirror to let you know that you're going through that, and so, and working on that. Yeah, totally. Yes, that's a great way to put it. Ego working against our soul. Thank you. And that's totally what it is. And on an energy standpoint, it's like when we come into this world as like a new baby, right? Like we're like this perfect purpose. Yes. We have to pay dues ever in a tribe. Who knows? Like, I don't think so. I think that we just like show love and compassion for each other. But okay, so we come into this world and we're like this density, like we're like this one purpose that has like this single like flow that it's going into, right? And like from the minute it comes into this like third vibration, like as we are, we're surviving, like as we grow, right? So we adapt these different ways to react to different situations that build up these densities around who we are, right? And so it's like you said, the ego. And so it's like, no, this is the way I react. So it's like maybe you get bullied, but maybe you are the bully when you get bullied. It's like, how do you gauge like how you react to that? But the only way to really react for your own true purpose and healing yourself and knowing that nothing is really outside of you. Everything is within you. Yeah, me too. I was bullied a lot as a child. So, I'm an advocate on helping figure out how to get through that. Yeah, it's not cool. So like, let's be the light workers that we are and show that there's no such thing as bullying. Like, it's so sad to me when people need to bully, and I'm glad you weren't. Like, so happy for that. Like, it's not cool. Yes, me too. And, I think that we want to work on that. We want to teach people how to figure that out, and so like, let's break that down, so when someone's coming at you or when you feel something, it's yours, right? Like, you feel it. So where does it come from for you? Like, what do you feel? you know? Why does that make you sad? You know, because if it's affecting you, then it's a relatable situation that's happened to you. Yeah, we should bring more love to it. And so it's like, okay, it's like a hurting child inside that you need to feel that way. But when someone else is projecting those thoughts and feelings and emotions upon you, it's because they feel that way inside. And so instead of taking that on to be like, oh, maybe I am this, or I do look that way, or I am blah, 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 whatever it is, you don't have to bring that onto yourself. You can kind of stop and be like, oh my God, how sad. Like, what are they going through that they need to say that to me for? Like, what is it that makes them feel not good enough or fearful for their lives or sad or angry or whatever? And it may have nothing to do with you. It's just that they're trying to find an outlet to release that pain that they have inside. And so a lot of times it can be very healing if you don't take on when someone's pointing at you and you're kind of like, oh, I love you too. And you're kind of like, hey, I don't feel that way about myself, you know? And if you feel that way about me, great, like, good for you. Like, is there something that I can do to help you get through what you're going through that makes you feel that way? Because I'm not feeling that way about myself. And I love you for feeling that way, and I respect what you do feel. And I would love to be there and helping you get through that. But there's no way that you need to be bullied or that anybody needs to bully you. Hey, what up? You're mad? Okay. What are you mad about? Where is that in your body? That's one thing too. And being a tribe. See, we're talking about being a tribe, and I don't want to get off like total course on this, but being a tribe is being here for each other. So even talking about like how to fix each other, like I'm here for you guys. Like, yeah. So like, I'm here, like, I want to help you like heal yourselves to energetically move so that we can be together, be strong, and be on our purpose. So how can I help you guys move that energy within yourself? And so that's kind of what we're talking about in being the tribe. And I can be here and be that like teacher and healer. Right. And if I can help you guys move through those vibrations so that you can be free, I would love to be here to do that. I'm a healer myself. I do a lot of work around that, with people all the time. Psychically. Oh, good question. Yeah, I didn't bully. How do you protect oneself psychically? No, I didn't bully. I think I was always afraid of being bullied because, or I didn't want to be the bully because it's like, that was like if I succeed, then I have to be a bully. So I didn't want to succeed because then I would have to be mean. So that's a good point. But I want to get back to how do you protect yourself? Okay. That's a really, really good question. And I'm really glad you said that because that's something that I'm very big on. And actually, you can check out family.link, and on our resource center, I actually teach a class on doing your inner laundry. And it's just a freebie. We have more to come, but it's basically giving you the breakdown of like what we are. And I was kind of talking about us being like this energy density, right? So because that we are that density, like we see ourselves on the third dimensional level. Thank you. We see ourselves like as this physical body, right? Of the skin and the hair and our heart and our lungs and everything else that, that is of our physical form. Right. But what we don't see actually, and what we don't really get to learn in school, and I'm not really sure why they don't teach it, but that we are actually energetic bodies, right? So if we are energy, then we kind of radiate outside of our physical body. And if you guys, if your first layer is your etheric layer, right? So actually, if you put your hand about a half an inch to an inch, love you too. Oh, yes. Yes. Love you for love. Yes. Okay. Anyways. So, if you want, you can feel your first layer. It's between like, yes, we are made up of atoms, and it's like between a half an inch to an inch. You can actually feel the heat kind of radiating off of you. That's your etheric layer. That's the first energetic body that we have. It's our health, our vitality. It's what's closest to us. Yeah. It's what we can like feel. It actually can even be like kind of hurt or scratched or torn, just like our skin can. It's very, very sensitive in that way. And so we can feel that. Yeah. You can look it up, or you can take my free class. The next layer is your ovum. And this is where I'm going to answer the question about protecting yourself. Is that that's your protective layer. It's your second layer. It actually comes out around from your crown chakra, which is at the top of your head, and it goes around your whole body and through around to your tailbone, which is where your root chakra is. So it's actually connecting your entire body, and it's kind of like your egg shape, like your protective layer that's around you. And that's like your energy bubble. Basically, you can call it whatever you want to call it, armor, whatever. Is there a book on this? How do you... Thank you. There is many books, and you can actually Google some of it if you want. Energetic body layers. I did go to school. I'm an energy healer practitioner, practiced in Buddha, Taoism, Hinduism, 5-element theory, and Reiki, qualified. So yes, I do and have read books on it, and I have taught a class on it, which family.link, you can find it in the resource center. So yes, there is all kinds of information on this. So in protecting your ovum is, so we're all energy, right? So if you want to use that, what I do and what really honestly kind of saved my life was using this layer and working with it and strengthening it. Yes. And so basically you want to kind of be with that energy. And one of my friends, she says, bubble up. And, you know, if that works for you, then that's great. But I would almost at first, when we want to get that strong, we want to actually like start working energetically with our outer layers, is to kind of close your eyes and envision like a white bubble being around you of white protective light and good and positive energy. You can release anything stagnant or negative that you don't want, kind of helping that energy to cycle and only keep the positive. You can, depending on how connected you are, what your spirituality is, you can use your angel guides or your spirit guides, soul families, any angels that you might want to work with, or gods or spirits or family members, any energies that you want to bring around you in protective light. I also like to use stone energy when I'm using it. So a lot of times I'll use like a rose quartz, because rose quartz brings a lot of love. Yes, he does. He does. I don't know how much he's on there, but he does. So I'll use like the stone energy, right? And it will, like, the love vibration is like bringing my own love, but it's also clearing other people's energy with love. So it's like a really good protective stone to use on your bubble. But I would start by doing that a couple times a day, if not like 5 or more, and start to just see if you can start to see that bubble around you after a while. I will actually do Reiki on the inside and outside of it, depending on how you know how to use that. You're welcome. And so you can start to like feel it. For me, I will start to like play and feel that strength within it. Yeah. And at first it was kind of like, I don't know what I'm doing. But then after a while, for me, I started to actually feel this. Oh no, see, maybe you need your little bubble up. If any of you know my story, which I'm sure I'll tell it again, I was really, really, really sick for like 7 years, and I was in the hospital a lot in a really lot of pain. And I learned that by using the bubble, it would actually help me, and that what was actually happening to me, Western medicine couldn't find anything wrong, was I was taking on too much energy. I'm an empath. I didn't know I was. It was making me very, very sick. And so by using the bubble, it kind of keeps that energy flowing, and I don't take it on as much. And I started to notice, yeah, I know. And that's like, the bubble will really help you. It really will. And after a while, I really started to notice, like, when I would walk into like a room of a lot of people, I would get nauseated. And I would only get nauseated when I was going to get attacked before. And so when I started healing myself, I wasn't getting nauseated anymore. It was like this crazy thing, because I'd been nauseated for so long, right? And so now I don't ever really get nauseated. So if I feel nausea coming on, I know my bubble is not up. It's not strong. And so I'll like take a second. And sometimes I'll be having a conversation. I'll let other people talk, whatever, while I'm like in my head, bubble up in love and light. And sometimes it only takes a couple seconds, you know. You can use whatever time you want. Sometimes you can use an hour if you want, 20 minutes, whatever time you want to put into building that is good too. But really, it's energy. So just kind of use a couple minutes, and it can really help you. That's your second layer, your ovum. It's really, really cool to strengthen that, because also as an empath, if you are bringing on that energy, then what's really cool is that you want to be able to separate it for when it's yours, if it's a mirror for your information, or if it's actually something that's inviting you to heal or help someone, and whether or not you would like to work with that energy or not. Okay, so when you have that ovum up, right, it's that barrier kind of to let that on, because let's go in one more layer. One more layer is your astral layer. It's your emotional layer. It's kind of what people would see as your aura, right? And the reason it would look like an aura and color to people is because that's the layer that your emotions go into, right? So all of your chakras have different emotions that go with them, right? So if you are feeling very powerful or shamed or something along that line, you would probably have more of a yellowish kind of glow if someone was looking at your aura, because you are more exuding your solar plexus chakra. Right? So if you're in love and you're feeling happy, you might have like a pink or a green tinge to your aura, where depending on what kind of mood that you're in, right? So this is your emotional layer. These are emotions that are sitting out and around you that you're energetically putting out of where you are emotionally balanced, right? So that's your astral layer. And it's really interesting because these layers can actually go out feet and feet around us. We walk into each other's layers all the time. Right? So our emotions are kind of like overlaying each other as we walk by, right? They come into each other's layer like it's ours. Like, okay, woo, weird, right? So when we don't have our ovum up, that protective like layer around our emotion, then what happens is those emotions kind of like leak through into what we can feel in our etheric layer, which is our health and vitality, and what's actually what we can feel in emotion, right? So it starts to like attach to that. So when you use the ovum to protect it, you can kind of keep those emotions that aren't yours kind of hanging out here on the outside, right? So it's really cool. It almost starts to feel like, oh, wow. So it's like giving you this like discernment of like, oh, okay, what is this? Okay. So sometimes you're going to feel, okay, I'm feeling anxious right now. I'm feeling anxious in my power source. I'm feeling a little depleted. I don't know what this means. Okay. So I'm feeling mad or whatever, right? This is the emotion that's coming into me. And you can be like, oh man, this does make me mad because of this. Okay. So then that could be a mirror for you to know that that information came to you so that you can heal yourself and heal the other person. You can help in that situation instead of taking it on. Because a lot of times we take it on and now it's like, I'm angry, I'm mad. And really it's like the person that just came into your space is angry and mad, not you. Right. And it's very, very easy for an empath to take that on and make it feel like it's theirs, because it really does feel like yours. It really comes into you and it's like, dude, I'm pissed right now. And they're like, wait, why am I pissed right now? If you relate to it, then the situation actually is yours, that you can clear that energetic body away from you so you don't have to have that reaction anymore. Or if you decide that that emotion isn't yours, you don't really feel it, you're not really attached to it for yours, now that bubble is up and is telling you, wow, I'm not relating to this. It's not a mirror, but it's giving me an opportunity to help and heal somebody, because we are healers as empaths, right? So, in that, we as healers, we can exert ourselves as much as we need to, but we also know our energetic value. And sometimes just because it's presented to us doesn't mean that we have to take on and deal with what's being presented. You can acknowledge it and say, thank you for the information. I have compassion. Or you can choose to use it and help the person or the situation that's happening around you. Anyway, so I'm talking about all of this just so that we can talk about how we interchange being a tribe and who we really, really are on this planet. And thank you all for being on here. I'm really excited about our world tribalism. And how that all works, you know, and as we work together and as we move forward, it's all about the life in Tantra. And I want to bring this up because it's going to be a conversation I'm going to talk about really, really soon, because I've been writing and reading about it. And the universal experience is merely a manifestation of the divine energy flow. How it's being channeled, processed, and used. Creating Tantra is to create the act of feeling, bringing knowledge and growth on your path to lead your own life on a path of love. Life should be in a constant flow of Tantra, to live in complete bliss of life's conscious reality. So if we're in balance of Tantra, then everything is in constant flow. We're in constant communication with one another and showing that love that we all have and how special we all are to work together on this planet. So thank you for joining the tribe. And we love to see you on here at 9 o'clock every night. Thanks for joining. We're on here as a family, different pieces of us. I'm Erin. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Holly. www.family.link. Check out our resource center. We got free classes on there, up and coming meetings. We're on Periscope every night. Love you guys. Check us out on Facebook. See you tomorrow.